Mr. Speaker, I rise today, Thursday, to give notice of my intent to resign from the U.S. House of Representatives on May 12 and to share a few words with my fellow members and the American people. It has truly been an honor and privilege to serve the people of Pennsylvania's 15th District, and I am proud of my time in Congress. I believe that I have made a difference and have improved the lives of the constituents I serve in Pennsylvania. From serving on the Homeland Security and the Transportation and Infrastructure Committees to my current role as a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, past chairman of the House Ethics Committee, and current co-chair of the Tuesday Group Caucus, I am proud of what I was able to accomplish. As a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, I fought to fulfill the basic functions of government, like keeping the government funded and preventing default on our nation's obligations. At times, that has not been easy. Unfortunately, due to disruptive political influences, increased polarization has led to Congress becoming more paralyzed, unable to perform even our most fundamental tasks. This phenomenon manifested itself most clearly during the 2013 federal government shutdown, but it continues today. This political polarization has led to a disturbing trend where fringe elements of both the far right and far left are emboldened and empowered. While the bases of both political parties are well represented in Congress, the governing center has been under increased pressure. Too many Republicans expect blind, unquestioning loyalty and obedience to President Trump, no matter how absurd or destructive the comment or behavior. Constitutional separation of powers is almost an alien concept after relentlessly demanding Congress assert its Article 1 powers during the Obama years. On the other side, far too many Democrats offer unflinching resistance and opposition to President Trump, even if they agree with him on a given policy or position. Separation of political parties has replaced separation of powers as a guiding governing philosophy. This dynamic is not sustainable and it is already having troubling consequences. We have already seen a rise in the three-headed monster of isolationism, protectionism and nativism. These are not qualities of a great nation. In fact, they dishonor the sacrifices and service of the greatest generation, who delivered both victory during World War II and the far-sighted, outward-looking, post-war, rules-based order that has brought unprecedented freedom and prosperity to America and its allies. Furthermore, traditional democratic values, the rule of law, freedom of press, and an independent judiciary, are under unprecedented attack throughout much of the world. It is incumbent on all of us to stand up and defend our way of life and our institutions. In Congress, we need to re-establish a strong, bipartisan governing center that will help restore order and stability to Washington. To be sure, there are a number of members working toward that goal, from the members of the Tuesday Group, Republican Main Street Partnership, Blue Dogs, New Dems, Problem Solvers and others. Many of these members understand that consensus and compromise are not capitulation or surrender but, instead, are essential to a functioning republic. We need to pursue real fiscal reform, both on the mandatory spending side and the revenue side of the ledger. We need a Simpson-Bowles 2.0, with teeth, and the reforms must be bipartisan to ensure they are both durable and sustainable, which won't happen on a partisan basis. Additionally, we need to address other challenges, such as how to increase access to and affordability for our nation's healthcare system, expanding educational opportunities for our children and grandchildren, and making needed improvements to our infrastructure. The administration must realize that America has to honor its agreements if we ever hope to enter into new ones. We simply cannot walk away from American commitments, even ones we may have voted against or disagreed with, if we expect to continue to build new coalitions and enter into new agreements. Instead, we should double down on the multilateral, rules-based order, whatever the flaws, that America worked so hard to establish after World War II by defending the institutions, alliances and partnerships we established or helped establish, NATO, European unity and, yes, a global trade regime, through which we have advanced America's economic, security and strategic interests. We should look at ways to open new markets and expand new opportunities that unleash the power and benefits of the American free market system. All of us, Republicans and Democrats, need to work together to move America forward, as friends and partners who share our values, ideals and interests. Whether confronting a revanchist, aggressive Russia, a terrorist, theocratic Iranian regime, or China's mercantilist policies, success can only be achieved by finding strength in unity. And, while I may be leaving the halls of Congress, I am not retreating from the battlefield. I intend to continue aggressively advocating for the people and the policies of the sensible center. I hope to provide an even larger voice in favor of responsible governance and hope to foster a strong, center-right movement that embraces traditional conservative virtues of order, discipline, stability, measured statements and incremental change, not the incendiary rhetoric, chaos and dysfunction that we have, unfortunately, grown accustomed to in recent years. Although my time in Congress is drawing to a close, I know that our nation's future is bright. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thanks to all my friends and colleagues in the House and Senate for your support, guidance and friendship over the years. Thank you to all my staff, both past and present, for everything you have done to dutifully serve our constituents in Pennsylvania and to my legislative and policy priorities. We could never have achieved as much as we did without your dedication and commitment. And thank you, to the people of Pennsylvania's 15th Congressional District for the trust you have shown in me, time and again. After my family, representing you and carrying your voice to Washington has been the joy and honor of a lifetime. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time. Charlie Dent, an Allentown Republican who represented the 15th District in the U.S. House for nearly 14 years before resigning Saturday, gave these farewell remarks on the House floor on Thursday.